And we are live. What's up, Adrian? How you doing, babe?
I'm
How
all
you-
right. I'm all right. I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up, Facebookies, YouTubers, and them X fingers? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Hootie Who's Finest Talk Show. We up in this thing today. We got a little content for y'all that we gonna get up into. We talking about this smash and grab stuff.
Yeah,
They are taking it down, Adrian, especially in California.
yeah, yeah. It's real big out here. Retail theft. That's like the thing out here. A lot of people going into that rather than get into other crimes and stuff.
Now, why do you think that they are doing that, though?
Well, when in California, they passed Proposition 47. And I
Right.
remember when Proposition 47 came out, it meant something different for guys that were in prison than, say shoplifters. But, they come with these propositions and they have so many different components. But one of the components was they lowered the or raised the petty theft amount, right? That, so they raised it to $950. Anything under 950 bucks, that's considered petty theft and basically a misdemeanor. It can be raised to a felony, say if you got multiple charges, but most time it's just a misdemeanor. And yeah, so a lot of people feel like, man, $950 and I can get a slap on the wrist or possibly not even get arrested.
Right.
Because you got cops not even coming to a petty theft um call, so yeah, and it's real bad out here. I'm in San Francisco. um it's a huge divide between the haves and have nots out here, and the have nots, they run in them stores and they clean them shelves out.
Well, listen, I done a little research on this. I had a little time. First of all, I want to give it up to Messy Marv. Came through and said, salute to Hootie Who's Finest Talk Show. We give love back to you, Messy Marv. But this is what I wanted to say. Let me see here. It says the 10 most I guess most impacted retail thefts cities in the last year.
Yeah,
Highest was Los Angeles, California. The second was Oakland and San Francisco, California. The
yeah,
third was Houston, Texas. The fourth was New York City. The fifth one was Seattle, Washington. Then you got Atlanta, Georgia. I would have thought they would have been higher because it's a lot of nice stores in Atlanta. I heard anyway. Then you got Sacramento, California. California, I had like 3 times.
3 times.
Yep. Then you got Sacramento and Chicago, Illinois is tied. Then you got Denver, Colorado, Miami, Florida, and Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah.
All of them are tied for last. I remember. I don't actually remember the exact year, but I remember when this stuff started back up.
Yeah.
Um, with the smash and grab when they was just running in the store grabbing stuff coming out, and they still doing it on a higher scale now. On a higher
Yeah.
scale. Why do you think um they lowered the justice system, the legal system, took away
Well, like I said, Prop 47. There was like for people that were in jail, it took away certain enhancements that they put on people. So it was like one of those prison reform bills,
Mhm.
and it was designed to kind of curtail criminalizing people who were going in and stealing for to support their drug habits.
Right.
And then they were considered these non-violent crimes. Usually no one's involved, though they can. I have seen videos that sometimes when those people who are stealing get confronted, they get aggressive. There
Right.
was actually a situation out here in San Francisco where a young person was gunned down by a CVS, a Walgreens security guard, right up here on Market Street. And so they can get aggressive, but they changed the law to stop criminalizing folks who were just stealing
To eat.
to eat, to dealing with mental illness, dealing with drug addiction, and they raised it to $950, and it actually had the reverse effect where now you got people going in and they're stealing $949 worth of stuff and walking right out the store,
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing said. I mean, out here, it happened out here a couple of times. I haven't heard of it too many times because these is red states out here, so these police is not really. Um, you actually can get off killing somebody out here versus stealing and that kind of stuff. And so when it happened out here, it happened at Oak Park Mall in Kansas, predominantly white out there, but a white lady, she was videotaping them run out, and and one of the girls came up to her and drew down on her.
Yeah.
Listen, so it's getting deadly. But what I wanted to ask you too, I wanted to bring this up before I read into the bill. They're saying, I heard something the other day. They're saying, how everyone is complaining about how everything is expensive. Food is expensive. Clothes is expensive. Gas, everything is expensive, especially out there with y'all. But out here too.
Yeah.
They're saying that these smash and grabs have basically became so common in stores, and you guys are you're seeing this out in the Bay Area. A lot of major stores is closing down, leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of this. And so what is going on is that they're saying that a lot of this inflation with in different areas as it pertains to retail and the stores is because of this smash and grab.
Yeah. So yeah, so we've had several. There's a Target recently closed. It's a Safeway. They're closing, and it's like one of the only Safeways in the Black community, which is Fillmore in San Francisco. They just had an In-N-Out close in Oakland, and you just see multiple stores throughout the city closing. And they have implemented like some type of process to bring small businesses back. But yeah, so they're saying that retail theft, particularly organized retail theft, is driving these closures. But there are so many other things that goes into it. It's like, you know, one thing I've learned over the years, just with Enron and so many of these different companies that Wells Fargo, all these companies that were getting over on the little man, that is not as cut and dry as that, right? So on the surface, yeah, it's horrible. It looked menacing because you got videos of people running in, grabbing stuff, coming out, and that looked it looked dangerous to the average person, right?
Right.
But behind closed doors in them boardrooms, in them smoke-filled rooms, that's where the real culprits and the criminals are conducting their affairs and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we don't see that, but yeah, so they can blame it on retail theft. And I do think that drives some of the closures.
Yeah.
But overall, there's other components that we're not seeing as well.
Yeah, because you also have to take in a factor when you're looking at the retail theft. Not only for the merchandise is taking a big hit, but the staffing is taking a big hit. Who wants to be at work with all of these people bombard in? You don't know if they got a gun. There's security. There's no security. Clearly, they can just run. Even if they wanted to, they can go to the register and just get the money out and just run out if that's what they wanted to, because no one is stopping them from doing anything. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to work like that under pressure. I would. That's under pressure. You don't know if one of them got a gun, a knife, nothing. You just standing there. Okay. After you done put all of this stuff out for the day,
Yeah.
here they come tearing stuff up, running up out of there. I mean, so I think that not only for the merchandise, is taking a big hit. I think that they probably are having issues staffing in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that could pose an issue within itself, because if you got, I know I went to CVS this past weekend, and it was like two employees in the whole store, and what they're doing, they have these kiosks now where you can just go to the kiosk and check out. So but you got people who are trying to want to steal and want to take something. They see that as an opportunity, and so they go in there and they grab as much as they can, and they're stealing, like, just everyday products, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo,
yeah,
perfumes, just things like that. And, they have a just open air market out here where, they just, you got guys, people right on the sidewalks with all the products laid out, and they're selling toothbrushes and tools, coffee, anything you can think of, they selling. I'm telling you, I've seen tampons out there, toilet paper. I mean, everything you can think of, they're selling right on the block. You know what I'm saying? Right in the neighborhood. And you got a lot of people who are, facing these high prices in the store. They see that as a opportunity to reduce their costs. So they'll go to the corner store and and buy a tube of toothpaste that they might can get for $2 or $3 versus $6 or $7 in the store.
right.
So it's so many different components and stuff. But yeah, I
I
know
want,
you're going to get into that law and stuff, because they're trying to change the
I
law.
want to ask you something about it, because it's something else I want to bring up. The three strikes law. I really think all of this is leading somewhere. I do. I think it's a setup. I just don't believe that. I think this is design, and I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts after I read this. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Oh, I have to share my screen. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you my thoughts after this, because I really think that it is set up for us to be doing this for a reason, y'all. Well, not us, not everybody. Yeah, out there doing this is crazy. All right, so cracking down on organized retail theft. They're calling it fences face additional prison time. So fences is actually the people, well, when you break down the law, it's all of them. It's the people that's stealing and the people that's selling. I mean, that's buying this stuff in bulks
Yeah.
and selling it to people.
But
So,
like you say, there's a chain of command, a hierarchy, the booster, the fence, and then say the buyer, I guess.
everybody gonna go down. That's what's gonna end up happening with this in California. Josh Newman, I guess he's a Democratic senator out there.
Yeah.
According to who is this? SD29 Senate California.gov news press. Sacramento, California, Senate Bill 1416, SB 1416. Man, California stay with some SB stuff, huh? Aiming
Yeah.
to crack down on the organized resale of stolen retail merchandise. passed the Senate Public Safety Committee today. This was April 9th, about a month ago, with a vote of 5-0. Y'all, the people is tired of it. They tired of it. The bill, authored by Senator Josh Newman, Democrat of Fullerton, and part of the larger Safer California plan, takes aim at a critical aspect of the fight against organized retail theft. The middleman coordinating and profiting from the sale, exchange, or return of property acquired through acts of shoplifting, theft, or burglary from retail businesses. SB 1416 creates enhanced penalties for those involved in the fencing of stolen goods secured through organized retail theft. This is an enhancement, right, Adrian?
Yeah. So they're trying to make it a higher penalty. So if this, so it hasn't been passed. It's always like different levels that say a bill goes through before it becomes law. Just from my knowledge, California history, California has more amendments to the state constitution than any other state, in the country.
I believe
So
that.
it's so many different laws. So this law would basically repeal the provision in Proposition 47 that raised the retail petty theft to items that was under $950. So this will repeal that, and it will be harsher penalties. And one thing that I've seen over the years is that any crimes that are predominantly committed by Black and brown people of color, there's a harsher penalty. They change the sentencing schemes. They change it. So now these folks who are committing these crimes are facing harsher sentences. We see that with the crack cocaine versus powder cocaine. Even carjacking, or that was just simple theft. But now that's I remember they changed that in the 90s, and they made that a life sentence. Because it was predominantly Black dudes and and Mexicans in LA jacking each other, or jacking folks for killer Daytons. They actually had a term for it. We called it killer Daytons.
Right.
Dudes was jacking, and so I see that's happening with this the pimping and pandering. These young cats, they're giving them life sentences now. So this law, it kind of goes right into that. Even though San Francisco, I would say the vast majority of retail theft are committed by whites out here. It's a healthy mixture of all ethnicities, right? But yeah, those penalties are gonna they're gonna impact Black and brown communities way more, because even the cities that you name, Sacramento, that's a thriving Black community within Sacramento. That's a metropolitan. Los Angeles,
Chicago,
San Francisco, Oakland, Atlanta. These are cities that's predominantly or have Black communities within their metropolitan.
Well, let's speak on this bill for a little bit, because I want to go into, you said a lot of things that I really wanted to tap into. So that's why I was like moving around, because I think that they are taking us back there and we don't even know it. We're in a whole different generation from when it was 3 strikes. You had them locking people up literally from stealing pizza to eat and giving them life, right? So that did that get it got overturned, but it didn't get completely overturned. Am I correct with that, Adrian?
Yeah, so they overturned it because what they were doing, they were making your second offense a 3rd strike. They were so basically you can have a second felony But say if your third offense was a misdemeanor, they can turn that into a felony, which they call a wobbler, and now you're facing life. You know,
Right.
so you get your third crime, you get caught with, back then, if marijuana was legal, you get caught with a nickel bag, or like you said, stealing a pizza. It was a guy that stole a sneaker. I know, one of the homies in there for writing a bad check, So they did overturn it, but it only impacted those people who never had a serious crime
Exactly.
prior to the third offense. If you had a serious crime, murder, attempted murder, kidnapping,
Robbery.
robbery, rape, they were not giving you, even though your third strike was a misdemeanor, they still wasn't giving those dudes. This guy's in there now. We can name a few. I don't want to do that, but we know people in there now that still got that 25 years of life. And it's not just 25 years of life. That's the 3-strike law. But most of these guys, they have prior offenses. So now that doubles because of the priors that they had in the past,
Right. Now, okay, so here we are right now. California has let a lot of lifers out of prison. The whole prison game, and this is why I am so gonna push you more on getting your podcast going, because I think it's a need for it. Because the whole prison system gang has completely changed.
It has. I've heard about it. I talk to guys all the time in there, and guys who are getting out.
And it's a reason. I think it's a reason why. I mean, of course, we're moving into more technology and all of that stuff, but these prisons got to stay filled. They have to. You know it. I know it. I remember you telling me one time, if all of the inmates in the state of California decided not to go to work for a week, a lot of stuff will get backed up.
Yeah.
So the prisons that lets you know they have to stay filled. And this what brings me. Do you really? Because look at California. California is on this list 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
They are the ones that the California state, I believe, is still the highest state with the most inmates in it.
Yeah, I probably need to look that up, but I think so. I think you're right. I know at one time California had 33 prisons, in the state of California, and that's not even counting the private prisons. They've closed maybe about 8 prisons now. Mm-hmm. But one thing about it, and I was telling the guy this, a couple of weeks ago, but I saw when I initially got out. So one thing that the lifers did for California prisons, the lifers kind of kept everything calm. They, kind of regulated the prison, so, when there was race issues. Excuse me?
Because it was their home.
Yeah, so me, I did 27 years, so I'm not going to let a guy that's only got 2-3 years come in here and just disrupt everything that's going on, man. Go sit your ass down somewhere. We don't do that in here. Right. And I had to learn that when I first went to prison. I remember, some big old dude. I still know the dude. I know his name, everything. Big old dude from Hoover. And I was saying nigga. I was saying using the N-word, and I was talking to somebody across the day room, and he said, "Hey, little loc, we don't use that term up in here, right?" And when I looked at him, and I'm like, man, who is, what you mean? You ain't my daddy, this and that. But the boy, he had some 24-inch arms. I was like, okay, all right, and it went on by my merry business. But what they've done, they've turned that into a business model out here. Mm-hmm. And it's something that needs to be said because it's working. In Los Angeles, in San Francisco, in Oakland. Now, I don't know, too much about other cities, but I see these jobs that I got a job with a company, two different companies, right? And basically these jobs kept the homeless in check. We, monitor, those people dealing with mental health. We monitor those people who are, like I say, homeless. who are addicted to drugs. I've done reversals. I've done at least 5 reversals where I've saved someone's life, or participated in saving people's lives. And we create safe passage. And so, and same thing in LA, they've taken that prison model of lifers maintaining the safety and security of the institution.
Mm-hmm.
Now those lifers are out here, and we're I work for 3 nonprofits, and all of them are designed to help that underserved community,
Right.
so to speak, that at risk youth, like I say, homelessness, so they didn't transfer that from prison to out here, and that's why a lot of lifers are still getting out, because the lifers who are out here are doing a lot of positive things. You only have like maybe 1 or 2% of lifers getting out and going back or with the bull crap, but the vast majority of lifers are getting out. They're going to college. They're pillars of the community. They're working. They're paying their taxes. They're law-abiding citizens. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, Adrian,
yeah.
answer me this. Do you really think, okay, so this bill, hold on one second. Let me see something. They've been trying to get this bill to pass since 2018. When I researched it, it goes back that far. It just never really it never got the vote.
Traction.
Yeah, it never got the votes.
Well,
Now,
and it may still not even reach getting a full vote, going through the whole legislative process. It may die on the floor, and that's usually what happens to a lot of these bills.
yep.
So I don't know. I can't call that one.
I think this is not gonna die on the floor, Adrian.
Yeah,
This,
you think they're going to pass it?
yes, it's
Yeah,
getting, it didn't got out of control. When you got these big stores having to close down, like it's out of control. It really is. And it's not only out of control for the stores, but it's out of control for us too. We the people in those neighborhoods is gonna wreak havoc. They're gonna, what about the people that can't get to, barely can get to those stores, now gonna have to Uber or catch
yeah,
buses clean across the city to get to these stores. So it's really going to cause havoc. But what I believe the overall design plan for it was, is to cause havoc, is to get these stores to close down, is to make it seem like this is the biggest problem ever, so they can put an enhancement in on these charges to fill these prisons back up. Like you said, the only is, this is a diverse thing. This is not just a black and brown thing. It's a whole bunch of people stealing. For the love of God, I don't know why we only come together as a mob to go steal some stuff when we need to come together and really stand up for some right stuff and do some real stuff like that. But we can come together to go steal some stuff. And what happens when the white folks is out stealing? They stealing by themselves. They ain't getting caught.
yeah,
Nobody can.
yeah.
It's
So
people that's taking the pictures of that y'all running out the store. They got stuff in their bag too. There they go.
yeah. So what do you think is the difference between when the young black kids are stealing versus, say, someone going in as an individual and just taking something?
These days, it's a different time, Adrian. These kids these days is just, I think a lot of them is just doing it because they following the crowd. They want the fast, the Gucci purses, the shoes, whatever it is, they want it. Mama can't afford it. They following the crowd. That's how you can get it. I think that's what it is. I
Yeah,
think too, a lot of these, I don't know what Gen X, Y, whatever it is they came up with, but a lot of these teenagers, late teenagers through probably 30, they are a different breed than we was. These kids, that age, and not to call them kids, but those young adults, they feel as if they are inferior to anything that any kind of ways that we grew up with. Um, is automatically wrong.
Yeah.
So they feel that they can really do what they want to do. They their own little movement. And I think that it's a trap for the enemy. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have a lot of new young kids in jail with a lot of time. As soon as
Yeah. Or
they change, they're going to change overnight and nobody going to know.
yeah. 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 And or now once they get, say if they don't go to jail, they take some type of plea bargain, and most people do. Most people take plea agreements. And that may come with a felony and no jail time. So the average, person that's not educated, doesn't know, they're going to take that, but they have a felony. So now this felony, it prevents you from having certain licenses. You can't, say own a gun anymore. So you're already losing before you even get started,
Exactly.
because we don't even have to address, if you got the money or anything to buy this. We're just going to look, you can't even have it because you're a felon,
Right.
and that's what,
And I think that's the position they're trying to put the younger
yeah,
generation
they,
in.
they put my generation, our generation, a lot of us, we, it came up, I had a felony. Now, I can't go into the military. I can't do this. I can't do that. And, it just, and if it's recent now, your criminal record may not even get you a job, particularly in some of those, in some cities and states, even right here in California, they have high conservative areas. Sacramento is very conservative. That's a Republican, city. So it just put them at a disadvantage before they even get started with their lives, because once you get that felony, it's like a scarlet letter has been branded on you.
Yeah, and I want to wrap it up because I want to talk about something else really quick. We got 20 minutes left. But the whole part of me wanting to talk about this is to bring awareness to our people. It's a lot of those people, a lot of our people out there that's doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think now they have people tricked and bamboozled to thinking that you're getting away with this, right? You're getting away now.
Yeah.
They're changing laws. My grandmother used to say they will change a law on you while you sleep. And when you wake up, you won't even know that law done changed.
Yeah.
I think they're doing this to set these people up. Really,
Yeah. You're right. It's a trap.
it is a big trap.
Yeah.
You have to look at it. They are emptying out the prison systems. The lifers is coming out. If they're not dying in there, they getting out. So if they want to get out, all you got to do is want to get out, and you gonna get out now. It ain't even, steps you got to go through, of course, but just take those steps and get out, because the prison has changed. They're making all these yards the same again.
Yeah.
They're making all these yards the same again. So they wearing stuff out. It's a big scheme. And I just want my people to be aware of it. When you running in them stores and stealing this stuff, be aware of what's going on. They putting this bill on there for a reason. And they not gonna only just take the people that's buying it or the people that's taking, they taking everybody to jail.
Yeah.
And it's going according to how much you steal. However much you steal, the years is gonna get tacked on. You steal
Yeah.
20, it's gonna be lesser than if you steal $50,000.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have one last word about this, because you brought up just a huge point, but it reminded me of that story. And I got to look this up. I don't know who told it. I forget. It's been so long, but it's about the wolf in the wilderness. So a hunter would say they would put a double-edged blade They're planted in the ground out in the forest with blood on it, and a wolf would come along and would begin to lick the blade. And in licking the blade, the wolf would start to bleed, would cut itself, would cut its tongue.
Yeah.
So the wolf would continue to lick this blade, his own blood or her own blood, thinking that it's getting a meal, but it's slowly killing itself. And that's what they're doing with a lot of these laws, these traps that they're putting these young folks in, and they're falling for them. So, you know, like I said, the onus is on me, it's on you, it's on, you know, us as you know, Black people, as parents, as formerly incarcerated, people who have been system impacted, to put the word out there and let the young folks know, man, there's a different option, you know.
A whole lot. I mean,
yeah,
man, it's just use your phone. It's money to be made using your phone. Talk on the phone. Like, do you a show. Do you a show. They pay you for that stuff. Like, get followers. You got your phone in your hand anyway. Stop posting stuff just to be posting in front of cars, and start really trying to post stuff, sell stuff. I got a girl, Messy. She just, anything she buys, she posted. She got hooked up where she is like a selling thing, but she buying something from Amazon and just posting it and how it look and the packaging, and she getting no money for them if people buy it from her page. I mean, it's all kind of stuff with this metaverse that people can do to make money. A lot. So you just got to tap into the right people, and be careful out there, because those laws is changing. Those task force is being made. You better do your research. I don't have a lot of time to talk about it right now, but yeah, they got a lot of task force for this stuff. And when you make the task force, they got to have the laws to be able to lock you up with it. They ain't just making no task force to lock you up and let you out.
No.
All right. So I had got this thing from a colleague of mine, and it was a post. He had sent it, and I was like, I really love this post. And I wanted to talk briefly about it. We got 15, 16 minutes. Let me share.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
I think this is it. Yeah. All right. Let me read it to you. Toxic people often use their own hardships to measure the loyalty of others. That's a lot in that one sentence right there, Adrian.
Yeah.
But let me go. Not everyone who wasn't there for us never cared for us. Not everyone who wasn't there for us never cared for us. It's naive to believe that we were the only one too occupied with putting out our own fires to bring an extinguisher to someone else's. That's deep right there. I want to break down this first sentence though. Toxic people often use their own hardships to measure the loyalty of others. What does that mean to you, Adrian?
Well, to me, you know, and I may not have the correct answer, but you know, it's you know, it's like, you know, for me, it's like, you know, if someone is, say, not paying their bills, you know, the lights get cut off. So now they come to you like, you know, hey, can you help me pay this bill? And you know, you may be like, look, man, no, you know, I got to pay my own bills. Right. So, you know, now they're, oh, well, you don't give a fuck about me. You don't care about me. Right. Where in actuality, you had an opportunity to pay your bill, but you chose to buy a bottle. You know what I'm saying? You chose to go to the club. You chose to hang out with your partners, you know what I'm saying, and pop your fingers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, to me, that's what that means to me. I don't know. You have a different interpretation?
A little bit. I do. It's kind of the same, but it's a little bit. because I think it hit me so deep because I thought about this before. A lot of times when people is going through something, and if you have these people in your family, they're always going through something. It's always something. And that's toxic, right? That's just not, that's not good. If it's not good, then it's bad. And bad turns into being toxic, chaotic,
Yeah.
whatever negative you want to associate with it. And so, but what they tend to do, a lot of them, is because they're going through something, and if you doing better than them, they feel, and you don't go through it with them or help them how they feel they need the help, then you're this terrible person.
Yeah.
You're not a good person. No matter what you done for them in the past, you could have been and gave them $1 million added up
Yeah.
some years.
Yeah.
But as soon as you got something going on, and a lot of times people don't even ask you, do you have something going on? It just
No.
be about them. Like, and you don't want to tell them your business. Like, I'm going through something too. It's just about them, though. It's just about them. And they take that you can't be there for them when they need you. And they
Yeah.
take that and use it as if you are a bad person. I don't know, like, and a lot of people do this though. That's why it hit me so hard, because a lot of people will judge you on what you didn't do for them versus what you did do for them.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about, and that is a like a good interpretation of that.
So what do? Do you just stop doing?
Well, I mean, you know you have to that so now we get into like unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships. I believe they go hand in hand, right? So, you know, if this person doesn't value, your beliefs, they don't value, your thoughts, your opinion, then this is an unhealthy situation.
Yeah.
So but when it become interpersonal, because I experienced it with my family. I have a few family members who they're toxic, and they choose not to take care of their affairs, you know what I'm saying, and rather put that off on someone else, or blame denial is so huge just in the country. I mean, we're not just talking about in the Black community, but in the country, denial is huge, but it's a natural human emotion, a defense mechanism to protect yourself, right? you know so you have an interpersonal relationship. So I'm not willing to stop loving a sister, a brother, auntie, or uncle, right? But at the same time, if I know that you're toxic, I gotta
Right.
love you from a distance. I gotta love you from a distance, because I'm not gonna bring that toxicity into my life, into my energy, into my vibe, you know what I'm saying? Into my home. You know what I mean? I like sleeping easy at night. You know what I'm saying? Not, knowing that someone else, whether that's a family member or not, is gonna, create some type of havoc in my life. So with
Right.
those interpersonal relationships, yeah, I love that person, but I gotta love you from afar. For when it comes to other friends and co-workers and things, and sometimes with family members, you have to. One of the considerations
Them the
is
main ones, man. Them is the
ending.
main ones.
Yeah, but you have to
Because
consider
you love them
ending
most.
that relationship.
Yeah. You because them that the reason why I says them they are the main ones is because you really love your family.
Yeah,
You can't just throw your family away. You don't have to deal with them. I got family I ain't seen in years. Peace be unto you. Wish you the best. Been living a good life. I hope you guys are too. But here's my thing though. Man, family, when you've given your all, it just hurts me to my core. When a person has given their all, changed their whole completely life around for a person or persons, took them out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Took them out of a terrible situation. Helped them through life. And I don't care what a person, say about you, what a person, you know, this person did this for me. Like I've had people do stuff for me and they've done me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When people do things for me, I take that to heart. I take it to heart because they didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? When you're a giver, it's hard for you to receive. People will be like, oh, you need something? No, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to receive. So when people do actually do something for you, I take that to heart. And for you to just spit in somebody's face because they don't have it no more.
Yeah.
They ain't got it like that no more. Well, they was such a terrible person because that's happened and they did this and they did that. Well, dang. What about all of this that they did do?
Mm-hmm.
What about they saved your life? Made you into the person that you are. What about all of that? I went through something with my family over the last couple of days that I never thought was going on. I learned stuff about some people in my family. I just never, you couldn't have never paid me to believe that was they was like that. Never.
Yeah.
It was an eye opener. It definitely was. It definitely was, Adrian, and it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't that it was even towards me. It was towards my auntie, which is in her 60s now.
Yeah.
And so that kind of stuff, and we're natural born protectors. We're natural born protectors in our community. I mean, we are. We are. We've always protected old people, children, women. You let a child get hurt or shot in the neighborhood, it's going to be everybody coming out. It's going to be a mess going on. Train wreck. Like, this is so to see a level of disrespect to a person that saved you in this world, made you who you are. Nobody's perfect. Nobody ain't had no perfect parent, no kind of way.
Yeah.
At all. In the least bit. And if you keep living and having kids, you're gonna see the same thing. But the sad fact of to ever dishonor a person that have taken care of you is beyond me. And I'm gonna close out with this, telling this story about Tyler Perry. I remember Tyler Perry.
What's up with Tyler?
That character that he plays, the old man, not Mr. Burn, the old man that he played cussing everybody out and smoking weed. Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, there you go. What's up with Joe, man?
So Joe is his dad in real life. That's the character. He cuss him out all the time. He Tyler Perry told the story that his dad used to beat the mess out of him, cuss him out, tell him he ain't gonna never be nothing. You ain't gonna never be nothing. Used to beat him all the time, up and down. Had that boy scared to do anything. This man then made it, billionaire now. Mom
Yeah.
is deceased. Guess what he did for his dad? That beat him. That
What
said
he
he ain't
do?
gonna do nothing. Bought him a house, a mansion, and pay all his bills, give him an allowance because that's his daddy.
Yeah.
I ain't got to say a word to him, but I'm gonna take care of him because he
That's
brought
still
me.
pops, man. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
where we lose this with these kids at these days. Like, where do we lose this? Like, it don't matter what happened with as long as your mother fed you, clothed you, and kept you, and all these years, and you make it to adulthood and she needs you, you take care of her. It ain't no more she taking care of you. You take care of her. She needs you. She got a list of ailments.
Yeah.
Then lost her son tragically. It's time to take care of her. It ain't about you no more. I don't know, like that. It just infuriated me. Like, I had
Yeah.
to take a chill pill, Adrian. I had to take a
Mm.
chill pill.
Yeah. Make you want to get on a plane, huh? You know
I,
what I'm saying?
quickly,
Yeah.
I said what I said. My auntie is in her 60s. And if anybody, I don't care who it is, put their hands on her ever again, I am an ethics and compliance director in a healthcare organization in administration. It is my duty to report any kind of
Mm.
abuse. So
Oh
I
yeah.
did
That's that
already
mandatory. You're a mandatory reporter.
took an oath. I
Yeah.
took an oath. So whether she
Mhm.
want to press charges or not, they coming if I call.
Yeah.
Right? They coming if
And
I
you can
call.
actually get in trouble if you don't report it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They coming if I call. And in the state of California, we all know she don't have to press charges. Who gonna pick them up?
Oh, they're gonna get hollered at. Yeah, they're gonna holler at them. They're gonna definitely holler at them. You can
Thank
believe
you.
that, you know?
Pictures with bruises on them on her property.
Mm, mm, mm.
So I'm not,
Ooh, that stuff
I
right
don't
there.
know. They ain't been around me in years. They don't know
Yeah,
this side of me, but there is a different side of me from the sweet side, and
yeah,
they learning, and it's gonna be more to come. I guarantee you that one. I guarantee you, it's
yeah,
gonna be more to come, because I'm
yeah.
not saying about my mom and her siblings. Them people is in their 60s.
Yeah, ooh, yeah, that's a shame, man. That's a shame that someone would take advantage of, you know, particularly a family member or a parent or something. But it happens, you know, and it's ugly. It's ugly, but there's no excuse and should be no, you know, place for that person to hide when justice is about to be laid out to them. You know?
Listen, we know what it feel like. College careers gonna be gone. Jobs gonna be gone. Apartments, car notes gonna be lacking because you're gonna be
Yeah.
stuck in the Twin Towers County Jail fighting a case behind my auntie, and I can guarantee you that one. I can guarantee. I don't care who it is. I don't care
Yeah.
what degree you got. I don't care how long you've been on your job. If you put your hands on any one of my aunties or my uncle, you're going to jail. Period. Point blank. I don't care what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll close on that note, Adrian.
Amen to that, sister. Amen.
Yeah, baby. So
Amen.
yeah, we got some good things coming up. And I got some more content. I'm gonna be shooting you away. I'm gonna try to get it to you early this week, earlier
Okay.
in a couple of days. If not, I definitely got some letters for you that we need to address. Because
Yeah, you know, I like that. I like the letters.
that's your favorite thing.
Yeah, we helping folks. You know, no matter what, if it's the letters, the content you bring, you know, we're giving it to the folks and giving them the opportunity to separate the real from the fake. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all right, Adrian, I'm out of here. I got another show I'm about to go on with the Damu Keyway Conversations. They lighten a fire up under this content about academics is a rapist and all of this stuff. So it's some celebrity content we finna get into.
That's
But
the part.
thank you, Adrian, for joining me, my co-host, my co-pilot. You know what it is.
You already know I'm here. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Until next week. But I'm gonna be calling you too.
Okay, holla at your kinfolk. Let me know what's up.
Already know what it is. All right, love you, dude.
All right, peace.
Peace.